teaching education over Kromwa, it's about 4 or 5 years ago. And we come, that's a lot of years we've missed out on educating our players and our coaches. A question then Kuala school, kindergarten and GSS na teachers na omunchen Canadian. Omuntu may advance your knowledge. Yes, and Kuala and suffer. And I think this is the problem I face when it comes to football. Because I ignored education for so long now. We are still using our old ways and old methods they used to, 40, 50 years ago. And we are still dependent on that to develop players in 2020, 2021. I don't think so it's going to work. And for my end, I think so education is one. And then also your mentality, we say a society mentality. A lot of your coaches say, "Wahano, obia face when ya ni education kakra na kokos be kakra ba osumin kwa media me pese me no bia be share me pese me secret." So no, I don't think say e be football. Oko kakra na unye bia uba, it's important say you share with everybody else. Say coaches are mobile, say within the club, and as I say Africa, it's important say your best shares are knowledge among the coaches. Your coaches association, and this is what the coaches associations are supposed to be doing, learning from each other. Indeed, who combine only education now, I think say it's one area in my from now, in my own time, 5-10 years from now, we'll definitely begin to see results at the end.
Faisal, now we about old methods, old style I use. Who bet me Abu Bobi Amiyehunu? So old methods na use for say more my intimate develop talent at the youth level.
Yeah. One, I would say performance analysis. It's one area to say everybody is indulged in it. Now share what we are doing here. I don't think that we've embraced it that much. Just a couple of months ago, view by everybody for development. But then I said, as the clubs, no more video games, and also Abedania said, indeed, to say people are dealing with facts and data and video. Those are the things information that you need to improve yourself as a person and as a player. Into say, maybe say, you embrace your system no more. Not in the Premier League, not in Division 1, not in women's football, not in youth football. Then we are still using the old methods. Obi to me pack no common player. So you player is say. So go come. Maybe a nanya sa on a player no. Or say or develop it. But if you have this evidence to show, say whether it's passing, whether it's shooting, whether it's body orientation, the information is there for you to access it and then use it to develop the players. If you don't invite maybe to say your game then you'll still be using the old methods. I know you're one. Two, talent identification and development. And memory, 2020, 2021, your player selection, you may invite players, or be amra. Either say a check is the age you're correct. We bought 10-15 minutes as we were saying, a different person about that's not how you identify talent and develop. Again, these are all old ways that we are still using in the modern football. I catch it. Until we give ourselves time, you make us say, okay, about 13, 14 years. The strength, the weaknesses, young channel and call say Prampramo, say BC Academy. Now you money 2-3 years to improve on the weaknesses. No, at the same time, no. Continue with the strength now, and then give it time to grow. After 3 years, then they can say, so okay, now I have a complete package. It's ready to face the international stage. But until say we adapt to all this, then obviously we are using old methods in developing players, identifying players, and coaching players. And those answer the results are the that's what we are facing now.
Let's say when FNI Nyadwin say maybe a say under 17 and under 20 on be invited best 70 players or mobile now or more another batch of 70 players but no more another batch of 70 about sabe 4 times they say we no more Nyadwin say mobile and nobody identify talent.
I know I don't think that it's the right way to do it. Even age is cry, it's too late. At 17, not player, no. Sebi, we're much you. You share Premier League and other European clubs now. You see young teenagers in there, Bukayo Saka, Dembele, Mo. How old are they? 16, 17, 18, almost time professional. You see, 16, 17, and I think I identify player anymore. Yeah, Barber training. Can we go a little bit lower? 13, 14, which in 10, and then you draw a developmental plan for player, no, and the coach, and then you give it time, 2 or 3 years, and a bit mature. But if you don't do that, let's say you train the average at 17, 18, and then no more camp for maybe 2 or 3 months. You see, young combo tournament. I don't think so. We'll get results with such ways of identifying and developing players. And then I don't think so. Meaning the first person in America, and it's not a secret. Belgium, more 10 years. Should be major. Spain did it. England, more so. Even recently, United States of America, we did it 10 years ago. So say, we bought U.S. men's national team from 1 to 15 now. We are about Champions League football in Europe. 1 to 15. Instead 10, 15 years ago, the US are. I want to be a crowd. But you say you can't say that anymore. Oh. And, we have to show them because you're catching with how we do things here. We should manage it like that. And when you say you better train, say you now $50 million before we start a project. So 10,000 a while. Let's spend the 10,000 in the right areas. So coach, here education, invest in the coach. So AstroTurf back on and now Grassroots back on your money data. Let's start from there, and then as we go on, the rest are going to follow. But I can't say you're trying to kunyasika boom and I don't think so. You'll be drawing anytime soon.
Okay, me did say share him see bit me from best practices. Aside education and early identification of talent, maybe I want to then that successful.
And one that's it. Yeah. And if you really want to improve footballer, then the one area was always strengthened by coaching education. I don't think so it's a secret. Because you didn't say in Chromadia. That's a teacher's never Chromadia, no. Sebi, I don't know Omunhuniswa. Then they're not much on Palano. I'm not much trauma. That's I think for me, that's as simple as it is. I don't think say a secret to baby. When your coaching education is strong, you make it accessible to Obia and your Premier League coaches and and your Division 1 coaches and your women's football and the cast of more money coaching education in the developmental country. It's the grassroots. Because when you share ABC, then I 1, 2, 3 from kindergarten, we do class 1, class 2. You can put sentences together. And that's exactly how we should look at this. It's a more grassroots, Nichols level. No? How can we make sure that they are getting educated every day? Because some more and understated foundation. No? And then if we get the foundation right, the rest, it's simple. It's most of the time, you need to Premier League for so now you grassroots youth development. But so when you share how to pass and control pro player, there is no way so you can make decisions at age 18 or 19 properly. That's how it goes. Every stage, there was a we should have the same thing. You start your foundation you're stronger. At the end, the dino, I don't think so between is serious. So that's just as simple as it is. It's not secret. It's open. We just have to change our mentality and adapt to doing things the proper way now.
Okay, Faisal, so I ask a question back when I'm here to be the man.
Bro, good morning.
How do you do?
May I say be fine.
Never know.
My question is Biana more United Soccer Coaches Digital Conference and as a convention.
Yes.
Now one of the participants was Jose Mourinho. And Jose Mourinho catch coaches are now involved in the convention. They say no Ukrainian as an European coach, I need a lot of European scouts a year, Jumano. There is a lot of attention today on the MLS and the United States as on mine in terms of scouting. And it says offer scouting reports be our Europa. There are a lot of United States players or more ever into the limelight. Mamu say what bosso about Yunus Musa from Valencia, Weston McKenzie, Ebo Juventus now, Christian Pulisic, Effie Dortmund about Chelsea, Giovanni Reina, Ebo Dortmund, Conrad de la Fuenta, Ebo Team FN Barcelona. Can you give us a little bit of overview? A coin bina in the last 10 years, US Afaswa do this level.
Very simple. Me mentioned earlier on which we started with coaching education. We started with the grassroots course online, and it was free. Obi a person went into coaching piano. That would be your first step. So what about Premier Dow? So Premier Dow, they want you to understand what the American DNA is. In those courses, you must take clear what the American player should look like from age 8 all the way to age 17. Every state behind it was shelter Aquano. So course a free for Obia person or enter into coaching and I only age. Why? Because the federation wants to feed them with the proper information because they know how important that foundation is. And then we taking it online. We started from 4v4 and then you move on to 9v9. Again, I didn't enable 4v4 at that age because training you get as many touches on the ball as you can. Sometimes you under 12 and 11, no more than 11v11 with a size 5 ball. We cannot play about a ball and cry, but the 5 minutes, 99 can ball. Such player is not being developed. But at that age, you make the game smaller, say 4v4, say 5v5. Each time when the 9 become ball, that is a development the kid is gaining. You start free, and then you move on to a developmental phase. Lucky enough, every MLS club was asked to start an academy. Sometimes there are conflicts. Teams need to be say, academy, develop your players. I didn't know. I would say a develop player according to the national team philosophy. But no, you just sit down and talk, say, and this more develop players according to the national team philosophy because teams they have to win and they're in the business of winning. But then at that age in India, a person will say, a person will 4v4. A person will teach them about nutrition, about sleep, the importance of all that. Now, you know your basics now. Then you can start talking about tactics, the X's and the O's and the game understanding. And so again, we compare development stage and then they say we call under 11 and 12 game. And the only thing he hears about winning. Yes, Anna, you do things the wrong way because you really want to win. But at that age, there's nothing to win other than development. My unique winning is development. Allow them to make mistakes because that's how they're going to learn. That's it. We don't give them the patience to do that now. Meanwhile, the most important one is learning the basics and the fundamentals of the game. That's how US started. Everybody agreed. Obia contributing all the time in their educations. Convention, okay. They've been doing it for over 20 years now. Afibiano coaches na ekoshia. You invite European coaches, you invite scouts, you invite media people. Obia ebeshe the knowledge kakrao, and then we all learn from it, go back into our environments, and apply all those methods. It's one direction across the whole country. Nyesa wako Eastern region, no more yomudia. Wako Ashanti, no more yomudia. Wako Greater, no more yomudia. That's not how it's going to work. It's a collective effort and a US for, and we learned this from the German, the Spain. Everybody's doing it. Not because it's open secret. We just have to change our mentality as to say, this is the way to go. And then we would all move forward in one direction towards developing what the Ghanaian player should look like.
Okay, Chibsah, my last two questions, and the last but one, no, ebe Mitie Bernard Lepet, your technical director, no, Abra ye Ghana free mu ewo under 17, no, and the impression he wanted to create, he said, na onye and choose about your preparation, any general youth development system na ewo Ghana hano. Now with the work, you know, realistically and practically, you know, how do we fix it into the Ghanaian system? Because one will be here because Moody US and common family Ghana ha. Now yes, say challenges are what our grassroots no. How do we circumvent the challenges within the local vicinity of Ghana football and still fix the problem alongside?
Two ways. I think it would be perfect for your system that we're Ghana. One, you start from a district level. At every district, you know, we have to make sure we have 2 or 3 developmental coaches. FA and a Moka. You identify people with potential. How you think that these guys, okay, they have the passion and the love for the game. So let's invest in these coaches and then stick them in that district. I'm not too sure how many districts are from what, but the infant is 20 districts. That's each district. Yeah, you have these developmental coaches. Every month, you invite kids with potential into what we can call a market training center in every district. And the infant is one of the districts in Kumasi, 12 players, our district we think that at age 13, they have the potential to become better footballers. Every month, you invite these players to what the district training. And then these regional coaches, based on the national philosophy I identified from the technical director, you train these coaches. You don't have to wait somewhere to 17, 18, and Sanamaba. But at your age, you started training them based on such philosophy, give it time. Yeah, just say what every district are. And then we can move on to regional team. Same thing, to Far Ashanti region. Out of the districts, now we pick the best players in that district to form what you can call a regional team. Almost every month, you can invite them, maybe a 3-4 weekend league. You bring them to the market training center. We can use a multi-purpose center CIAC across the country, AC. You identify one as a market training center. You bring the kids, again, you bring your regional developmental coaches, baby. You watch the sessions, you talk about the sessions, you do video analysis, you explain why we are doing this and not that. Every kid, you draw a developmental plan or come back to the post club and school crana. You have to plan, say, these are the areas you have to continue developing. Or the common one, the coach from regional, now we can move to what we call zonal teams. So you can combine maybe Ashanti region, Eastern region, maybe 3 regions, you form a zone. And then out of that regional teams, you also pick another group of players based from that group to form what you call your zonal team. And if you end up having 6 zonal teams across the country, out of these zonal teams, now you can pick a national team at age 15. In TBB, every player is getting a fair shot of getting a national team environment. Whilst kids na more district new regional teams, we still make sure they continue to develop because we say so. If at any point you face or be a developer, I will say they know a core national team at U15, you bring that kid. And also you look at a kid, you access him. You can make a decision right away. It takes time to give it time to grow. We start from the district to the regionals to the zonals, and then you get to the proper national team at age 15. And now, so academy across the country. Let's do it. And as I say, Premier League teams know the task. Say, Obian former youth team, very very important. Obian former youth team, and then you place these kids in this. Premier League teams to be developed now. Now you have a proper pool of players that you can select from. And again, any 1 day or 2 days thing, it's a process. We are talking about years. But then you're giving every kid the opportunity to be developed, to be trained, to have the taste of international football. And some of them to age 17, they'll be ready for international competition. I think with a process like this, you're always going to get the best kids. You're going to give them time to grow and develop, and then we can form a proper team. We can train them for international competition. That's what I think should happen.
Minister Tamoko and Command so but very, very snappy. My last question. Enra, Anna Nuhu, Emma who say Oko Algeria, or Medicancy and National Academy Bako, and then no Amosa a lunch second one. May I sure say Ebi Morocco, and so we the same thing in other African countries. Now, so Oko Western world now, Sika will FAO for them to do that. But over Africa, there are a lot of financial constraints on the FA. And in conjunction with the government, you say Algeria, Morocco, other countries here, in terms of facility, and this idea of national academy, a war FA hono, will you say you push it from the FA angle to get to government to support us to build these national academies, send the other African countries, and so nana.
Yes, I told the BI Castle, Sikanio, but I also think Kakana Yawano, we can manage it very, very well. Say your Pam Pam project is started here. Ghana was one of the first African federations at FIFA and UCs have funds in the form. But Sebi, Shejuma Yawa Pam. You can't total price no crash or Ububefu. Oh. Again, your FIFA Forward project, FIFA Forward Fund, FIFA Dema Federations. We are accessing those funds into SAR funds, so coin. Into say a bit more starting from one. A little bit of background on Algeria second year. The actual building, governments in the NSC and a federation and the government because I said Mumfa Nhyira Academy and the government is fine Mumfa now the moon become be a bit suited for more purpose just do it, and that's how it happened. A cost will come out of that. So buying 80 multi-purpose complexes across the country. Why don't they sit down with the FA and say, okay, so we see where they are. We see my nice you can cry from FIFA Forward no. You find patch in any way. So you start with one. Year, then we can go to 2, and then we can go to 3. But we have to have that mentality and say, this is what we are going to do. We have to put it to good cause. Next idea, the intimate now the beer and cassette, BBI is casca. No, so once you can a while, the photo cement na fatu. And then Kakrano, we will get there. Yenyeskada. It's my area where you say Yenyeskada, if you say Yenyeskada. Unfortunately, say it was mismanaged in Akobani saying. So let's start all over again, change the mentality, and then do it properly. So be funny part 2 or 3, now my age, now be save kakra. Do it. Then go funny part 5 or 6, which you mean now about to scan you.
Hello, Chibsah. Hello, Chibsah.
You save money instead of say business class. Yes, when you scanning now about to scan you. So there are ways how we can save money elsewhere and start this project. We just have to change the mentality and do things right, in my opinion.
Okay, Chibsah, that's a piece when you're in Nhyira 104.5 back as I went Nhyira Power Sports. So.